will have to be used as farmlands. And then cattle will have to want to go and cross over to the bodies of water to drink water. And they must cross, onto farms to go and get water. We are seeing all of these things as as potentials for conflict. And so we are coming up with strategies that will ensure that at least, even if you are going to use certain resources, you must use the resources in a way that everybody will benefit from the resources, because we see the large body of cattle coming to Adamawa State as a resource for the development of Adamawa State.
So what are the timelines? Because when you say you're seeing all of this, what are the timelines?
Well, the timelines cannot be one time. We have an immediate solution.
What's the immediate solution?
Which is the immediate solution. We have an immediate solution, which is to make sure that we stabilize the current crisis that is going on, which we are working on. And like I said, we are working jointly with the security forces to provide the soft approach, which is meeting people and having them sit across table to talk to each other and create an understanding. Where that refuses to work, we will insist that the security forces use the hard approach, which we want to avoid as much as possible, because we don't want the guns that are bought with our own money to be turned against our people.
Now that the Vice President has visited Adamawa State because of this crisis, what will be next for you?
Next for us, like I said, is to sit down and work out an immediate solution, a short-term solution, a medium-term solution, and a long-term solution.
You did say that, but what are the elements that you'll be looking at? For instance, I know that when crises like this happen, there's always a constitution of some kind of committee that begins to
an administrative panel,
and, trying to douse aggrieved parties, especially the herdsmen.
Immediately after that.
We also understand that the herdsmen are very aggrieved about this, because some of their people have been killed, according to them. That is from the Mayati Allah Association. They did say that. But how much of that is coming to bear when you're coming up with that holistic solution?
The first thing is that both sides have lost, and they will never recover this loss. So you put it to them on table that what you have done has benefited none of you. You have lost people, you have lost property, you have lost houses, you have lost everything. And like the Vice President said, it will never come back to them. They will never it will never benefit anybody. So first we sit them down and say, look, we have all lost, including us as a government. We have all lost, because we have to help rebuild those places, at least rebuild livelihoods and restore peace. Everybody has lost. So we sit down and talk. After that, we have to talk about using land resources effectively. We have to talk about using animal resources effectively. We have to talk about, creating understanding amongst people, erasing suspicions. It's a whole gamut of, solutions that some could come immediately, like what we're talking about, putting people on table to understand and stop this madness is an immediate thing. We've already started that one. Then we go to the next one. We have to analyze how our land resources and water resources are used across the state, especially along the areas that have the flashpoints. Another immediate solution is that areas that are not, properly policed must be provided with police protection.
Do you think the police are well equipped to protect the people? Because it does seem to suggest that the people are not confident enough that the police can fight any attacks.
We will restore the confidence. Where we need to use the army, we will use the army. But again, I tell you, the military in Adamawa State is already overstretched fighting Boko Haram. The Air Force, for example, that is the only Air Force base that is functional in the northeast of Nigeria. They operate from Yola to Maiduguri, they cover Yobe, they cover all the other northeast areas.
I'm afraid that's where we're going to have to leave it. I want to thank you so much indeed, Ahmed Sajoh, the Commissioner for Information at Adamawa State, for talking to us about this latest attacks and the visit of the Vice President to your place. Just
help us also to achieve durable solutions. Help us to make sure that our state is peaceful, because we are concerned more about development than crisis.
All right, Sunrise Daily will be back after these messages. Join us again.